Salisbury Center, we are ready for our next fight. Making his way to the cage and fighting out of the red corner, it's Paul Carson.
All right, Paul Carson coming to us from Gastonia, North Carolina, out of Gym O. He's 6'2", 193. He's 25 years of age, making his pro debut after going 2-0 as an amateur. We talked about this, fellas, in the pre-fight show. How early or how quick should you make that transition? You only had 2 amateur fights.
Hey, it depends. It depends what your goal is. You know, if you know and your coaches know that you're ready, you just needed the amateur for the actual ring experience, and you got in the ring and it was like, okay, maybe he doesn't need the ring experience, then it's okay. It all depends on what your coaches see at the gym.
Yeah, and when you have such a high-level wrestling background like Paul Carson does, and again, being at Gym O, they don't need to see too much before they're like, all right, we know what we're doing. We know what we're dealing with.
Yeah.
And with that said, too, I'll tell you, some guys will go pro based on the opportunity that's presented in front of them. You get the call and you say, hey, you can fight a guy like Carlos Martinez professionally. You're 25 years old, make the debut. That's a great opportunity.
But here's the thing now, and we're going to talk about this a little bit more, but Carlos, the next fighter coming out, missed weight. Right, so fighters kind of take that as a kind of a disrespect, right? I mean, you didn't really take me serious in all this?
It depends. It depends, man. Especially at the pro level. Like me, I'll be happy to take the money, depending on how much we're getting paid, So it depends.
All right, let's throw it down to Chris. Get the second introduction. Chris?
And his opponent, making his way to the cage and fighting out of the blue corner, it's Carlos Martinez.
All right, Martinez is coming to you from Diego Obispo Academy out in Virginia Beach via Nags Head, North Carolina. This is also his pro debut. But listen, Martinez has been around in the amateur division for a while. He missed weight by 2.6 pounds. That doesn't seem like that much to me.
Well, I think he actually requested that the fight go and they get a 10-pound catch weight already. Right. So that's why we're taking this fight at pro super middleweight. He's always, I don't want to say struggled with weight issues, but he's floated between 205 and 185, and it's hard to get that locked in. I will also tell you, Carlos is just, by speaking to him, he's not the type of guy to game the system. You can always tell, at least I can as a coach, Sadiq, I'm sure you can as a fighter, when a guy tried to make weight and failed and is already feeling miserable about it versus somebody who just did it nonchalantly.
Exactly. You can always get that vibe. If they don't care, you're going to know right away.
Right.
But like you said before, the 2 pounds might not sound like a lot, but that's 2 pounds away from how much work they did before, Yeah. So, they might have already lost 15 or 20 pounds, and then the 2 pounds is just the far that they're going to do anymore.
And both of these guys are high-level wrestlers, right? And they're the exact same age. It's hard to believe that they didn't meet each other somewhere in North Carolina at some sort of state championship or whatever. But I can tell you that Martinez looks 55. And Carson looks 18.
Yeah, well, they have different body types. They definitely they're aging differently. But I'll also tell you, man, Carlos Martinez has fought so many high level. I cannot put enough emphasis on every single guy Carlos Martinez fought.
Maybe not 55, so he doesn't beat me up. Maybe he's looking 35.
And by the way, you're on your own, man. I'm not helping you. Maybe me and Sadiq. I don't know.
You wait till you see how fast I can run.
Yeah. Well, and it's just, I think this fight's going to be great, but to your point, it is wild how they haven't met in a wrestling match or a cage fight or a jiu-jitsu match or anything like that yet.
All right, Chris, let's take it away for some introductions.
Salisbury Center, this bout is scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds in the CageZilla Pro Middleweight Division. It is brought to you by our friends at ESB Advertising. Bottom line results through memorable and measurable advertising. And now, starting out, fighting out of the red corner, standing 6'2", and fighting out of Gym O, he is making his pro debut. It's Paul Carson. And his opponent, fighting out of the blue corner, standing 6 foot tall and fighting out of Diego Obispo Academy, he is also making his pro debut. It's Carlos Martinez. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, this bout is scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds in the CageZilla Pro Middleweight Division. It is brought to you by ESB Advertising, and your referee is Angel Ortiz.
All right, Angel Ortiz will be the referee for the rest of the evening, I assume, here, bout number 9. Listen, the last time we saw Martinez in the cage, he had this amazing head kick of Edwin Francois. So look for that coming out early in this pro debut.
Yeah, I like the way that Carlos fights, man. I like how composed he is in there. I like how he stays with his guard, with his hands high. But it's one of those things where, that's exactly what I expected. Both of these guys are going to be on a different level. And I wouldn't be surprised if somebody goes to sleep.
Oh my God!
That's exactly what I thought.
Oh my God!
That's exactly what I thought. That's why I said it.
In the world, what an amazing job!
Yeah. I expected it to be a fast fight, and that's exactly what happened. That's exactly what happened.
Listen, we'll break that down real quick.
What's
Carlos Martinez, man, tremendous movement. What we saw right off the bat, Paul Carson tries to move forward, wants to close the gap, so he's firing some kicks. He's leading with kicks, and you're going to see the replay right here. Look, Carson's going to take this shot on 1 foot. He's on 1 foot. As he throws the kick, he's got no base, and that's why that shot, which lands on the button, not only drops him, but takes him out of the game completely.
Not only does it drops from the punch, the ground finishes the knockout,
Yes,
So it's one of those things, you're on 1 foot, hit the ground, the ground knocks you out.
Scott, run the replay again. Can we run the replay again, Scott? Just one more time as you see the head, because the head hits the mat right here.
Yeah.
Watch him in the air, and as he goes,
1 foot,
wham!
bam, and the ground finishes it all for you.
That's the NFL concussion right there.
Like I said, man, Carlos, that's what I like to see from him, man. He could fight for real. He has fast hands, very slick boxing. This guy can really fight.
Unbelievable.
He really is it's just a matter of getting his weight adjusted before the next thing you know, man, he's just going to be, we're going to see him at the highest levels.
Yeah.
He moves well. He doesn't get flustered. And when he touches people, man, they just react differently.
Carson's corner is not happy at all.
No, he's not. I don't know what are they upset about.
Yeah, the coaches, they try to shake hands, and the corner was like, we don't want to shake hands. So maybe they're still upset about the weight miss,
Oh.
When things go wrong, you start remembering all the little things that kind of went into the fight.
Does the 2 pounds affect that blow and that shot?
No, not at all. But emotions are rising.
Now, if this thing would have gone to the 3rd round, and Carlos was laying on Carson, and that 2 pounds maybe comes into effect. But I don't think it affected him. But you know what? I'm not out there. I feel bad for the guy. He's going to have a hell of a headache. But Paul Carson's probably not the last time we're going to see him.
Yeah.
And the guys out of Gym O are fantastic. So, hopefully they can get past all this. But Martinez put on a hell of a show for 10 seconds.
Definitely. He got a good shot, and he capitalized on it.
All right, let's throw it down to Chris. He'll get some results for us. Chris?
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Angel Ortiz has called a stop to the action just 16 seconds into the very first round for your winner. By knockout, out of the blue corner, it's Carlos Martinez.
Well, Carlos Martinez definitely deserves it. 16 seconds. I don't know what the record is here for CageZilla, but 16 seconds is got to be close.
I don't know what's going on with the coach, but that's come on. You got to be professional.
Yeah, you better watch out.
Yeah, just be professional. It's okay. I understand you're upset your guy lost, but it's not. Don't be a sore loser. You can't be a sore winner or a sore loser.
Yeah.
Well, I can't comment. I don't know what happened before that or after that. I'm not sure what it is, but I can tell you, man, Carlos Martinez is the real deal. And it was only a matter of time before we started seeing him have success as a pro. And it starts here, man, and I'm looking forward to seeing where he goes
And all
next.
of these guys got to go to the back, where the fighter staging area is. So if, anybody's in earshot, we might have want to send some people back there for that because